Hey, good morning, ladies. So, I don't know about you, but whenever I am faced with the loss of a loved one or a friend, it always makes me very aware of this idea of seizing the day. And we've heard, carpe diem, the phrase that means, to seize the day. But for me, when I lose somebody in my life, I think that idea is so at the forefront of my mind. Like, how do I practically seize the day? How do I live my life as though, each day could be my last, because we're not promised, tomorrow. And so I think in light of that truth that life is so short, some of the things that I've thought about what it looks like to really seize the day, it's the saying I love you, every time we leave, someone, or it's making sure to not go to sleep on a heart of unforgiveness, making sure that we forgive people quickly. It's, looking at our children, in the face when all we want to do is just be busy and get our stuff done, but taking that moment to stop and look at them and really listen to them, These are some of the things that I think about when I think about seizing the day, because it used to be that thought of seizing the day was this big grand thing. Like, oh, I have to, do these grand gestures and now I'll be seizing the day. The more I think about life, I realize that life is, a summation of tiny moments. Each big part of life is made up of a lot of little moments that bring us to that point. And so I'm realizing more and more that seizing the day is more about seizing the small moments than it is these grand gestures of living life full of energy. When I think about um, even when someone comes to mind, and I think about praying for them, or I think about sending them a message or picking up the phone and actually calling them. Those are the things I think that really make up, what it looks like to live life to the fullest. What it looks like to seize each moment, so that when we do lose someone, we can actually say, hey, like I love them. I had good dealings with them. I told them that I cared about them, that I loved them. Um, in Psalm chapter 90, verse 12, read it. It says, teach us to realize the brevity of life so that we may grow in wisdom. I remember being at a college group years ago, and somebody had shared that verse. And it was one of those verses where when I heard it, it just took a root. I just wanted it to be a part of like my daily life, where I go, man, if we only knew how short, if I only knew how short life really is, wouldn't it cause me to want to just um, take hold, take hold of my life, to really live life, without regrets and that sort of a thing. And so I really believe that if the Lord is able to teach us how short this life is, then we might actually live life with more love and more grace and more wisdom. And so it's really a simple thought, I guess. All of this is just that, um, in light of tragedy, in light of hardship, when we lose people in our lives, or we see tragedies across the country, um, how does it impact our lives? We might not always be able to, fly to another state to actually be there physically to help out, but through hearts of prayer and by asking God to minister to our hearts, and asking Him to show us just how short this life is, then I think it can really impact our daily lives, even the days that are really monotonous, right? Like some days we go to work, we get up, we change diapers, we just live, life in and out, and it might not be this like radical thing, but I think that each one of us has a sphere of influence where we're at. Each one of us can seize the moment, can seize the day, and live life impacting that sphere. Radically. Just by sending a message, by telling somebody that we care, by again, looking at our loved ones in the face and just saying, I'm listening and I love you and I'm here for you. So I know that a lot of us have been affected very personally by change and hardship recently. And so I just want to um, acknowledge that I'm thinking for you, thinking about you, I'm praying for you. And my challenge to each of us today is to find out what it is. I believe that each one of us has this sense of like, oh, I'll be seizing the day if I do more of this thing. So whatever it is, pray about it and ask God to show you how you can better seize the day. So I love you guys and I hope you have a great day today. Bye.